Okay.
Can you tell me a little about yourself?
Well, I taught school for 39 years. Had your father in school and graduated from OU and then graduated from Xavier and lived here all my life except for the time I was in college. And my parents were both very much into serving your community. Dad was on council and was a president of council at the time of his death. And then my mom took over his spot, and eventually she, due to some illness of the mayor, she ended up being the mayor, and she served for 6 years. And so after she passed, then I thought, I think I'll just get into this. And I was on council at that time, and then ran for mayor and got that for a while. And I'm very active in politics. In fact, I was a little late today because I was working over at the Board of Elections. And so it's something that's kind of in my genes. My parents stressed, being out there in the community and giving back to your community. So,
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what made you decide to run for village council this year?
Well, I didn't like not being on council, not being mayor, not being on council, and having a say-so. And I took out a petition, and I thought, well, I'll see who's going to run, because there were 4 spots open. Nobody else took out a petition except Kim Pavey, and she didn't turn hers in. And so I'm the only one running for 4 spots. So I just decided I wanted to be back on council because there's a lot of projects that I had started as mayor, and I'd like to help see them through at this point. So, okay.
And what are the main issues you're focused on in your campaign?
Basically, just making sure that we get the things done that need to be done to make Leesburg a vibrant town. We've got a lot of businesses. We've got, of course, we've got the Frito-Lay thing at the industrial park. So I'd like to see more of that, and I'd like to continue. And of course, now we have the Appalachian Project, where we're putting in a park down at the roadside park. We're putting in a gymnasium, and jungle gym and things and swings. And we're also putting in a splash pad for the kids. And I think that's really important. Long term, we want to build a bridge eventually down the road somewhere that'll connect the roadside park with the baseball field. And then people can go to one or the other and just walk across instead of having to go out on the highway and drive around to get to it. They can bring a picnic lunch or something, maybe the kids are playing ball and they can go over and have picnic lunch and then come back over and play ball. So it's just, the main issues are just to keep growing, to keep Leesburg blossoming. And, we've got this beautiful depot now. So, I want people to see Leesburg and see what a great place it is. So that would be my issues.
And what experience do you bring to the table that you think will help you serve effectively?
I've served on a lot of different committees. I've, of course, being mayor, I got to attend a lot of different conferences and things to see what other villages were doing. So I've got a lot of experience in that. Of course, working with people, having been a school teacher for all those years, you have to learn how to get along with people. You have to learn how to work with people and understand that everybody has an opinion, and they may not have the same opinion as you, but that's okay. Let's talk things out. Let's work together. Let's see what we can do together. So I think that's the experience that I have, is in working with so many different groups. I was the president of the Highland County American Cancer Society at one point. I've been on the board of directors of the Highland House Museum. I've been the president of the Highland County Republican Women's. I'm on the Highland County Republican Central Committee and Executive Committee. So I've been in with a lot of organizations. So I think, I think I bring a lot of experience that way. So.
And you also volunteer with the Highland County Board of Elections. And how does that shape your perspective on local government?
First off, until I really started working there, and I've only worked there for about 2.5 years. I have worked at the polls on election day for probably 25 years. But then they had an opening for some volunteering, and I was so amazed at how many checks and balances there are when people go to vote. I wish they could see it from my point, because it's so important to understand that voting is a right that everyone should take. And and how your vote is safe. There are so many checks and balances. You don't need to worry that your vote isn't going to get cast, or that somebody's going to take the election and make a fraud out of it. But we have great people working over there, and they care about local government. They care about Leesburg just as much as they do Hillsborough, Greenfield, So it has really changed my perspective a lot. So, yeah.
And what do you think voters should know before casting their vote?
Well, that I'm going to do my very best for Leesburg. Granted, I'm the only one running, so I didn't have to campaign too hard. But nonetheless, I want them to know that I'm back. I'm going to be back on council. I want to work with the council, with the mayor, with all the employees, and keep Leesburg going in the direction it's going, and that is improving things, getting as many grants as we can to help make the town better, whether it's in replacing a culvert or putting in this new park. I just want them to know that, hey, I'm back. And if they need me, please come and see me, and be sure and cast their vote for me, and we'll just get on the right track again. So
yeah, I love that.
Okay.
And what's something important about you or your candidacy that voters won't find on a campaign flyer?
That is that I'm just a hometown girl, and I've been here all my life. I know the history of Leesburg. I'm kind of the one, if you ever watched Roots, they had a griot who Alex Haley went to, who told the history of the oral history of his tribe. And I said I always refer to myself as the griot, because I've known everybody all the way down back through generations. I can remember when certain things were here that are gone now. I'm a hometown girl. I've been here forever. Grew up here, graduated from here, and I do care about this town, or I wouldn't have stayed here.
And if elected, what's one thing you hope to accomplish in your first year on council?
That is to finish up on our project with the Appalachian money, to get the splash park and the playground equipment in, because we've got so many people who walk down here. They walk in that circle, and we're going to eventually we're going to be able to put a fence around it, so that people can bring their kids down, and while they walk, the kids can play. They can be at the splash pad. And we're even going to put in, part of the project is going to include a new bathroom, a real bathroom, and not just a portable one. And I think that's really going to be nice for anybody that goes down there for picnics or whatever. So that's one thing that I really want to see accomplished. I helped get that started when I was mayor, and I'd really like to see it finish up. So, and of course, we got the 225th anniversary of the United States. So I want to be in on that, so that we can, because we've got several activities planned. So I want to be in on that too. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I love that. I love your story. I love your campaign.
Thank you.
It's just so inspiring.
Well, I, you know, like I said, I know the people here. They mean a lot to me. And of course, with all the students that I've had, I'm always, well, like with Raymond Friend and his business. Raymond, I had Raymond in middle school, and he was one of my favorite people. And I'm so glad to see him come back here and not only have his restaurant, but also have his barn renewal project.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wonderful, and I'm so proud of him. Oops, we fell.